Hey everybody, this is Heartless Spartan here with a Halo Toy Talk. I'm going back to the origins of doing toy reviews when I started nearly a full year ago. I've waited that long to get some new Halo figures in hand, at least the 4-inch World of Halo scale. And yes, today I have the World of Halo Jazwares Vault exclusive Halo Big Shot Battle Pack. This is ordered directly from the Jazwares Vault website, curated specifically for collectors. Now, I'll have to warn you ahead of time that I may get a bit excited as a fan in this one and haven't really reviewed specifically action figures in a while, so it might take me some practice before this category of videos gets running smoothly. I'll also try not to go on tangents about the misfortune and fiasco the World of Halo line has undergone that breaks my heart. But hey, we're here with new figures, so let's get into it. Okay, so this is what it actually looks like coming out of the shipping box. Because it's actually like it's a box within a box within a box within the shipping box. So the thing is like well protected, like definitely like collector's level shipping here with this. The sad thing about this is it's been over a year since I started doing the toy talks on this channel. Really only now are we actually getting anything more Halo from Jazwares. And the sad thing is it's at least we're getting something, which is awesome. I'm super happy to be getting this stuff. I'm glad we are. The only downside is, like, I was so happy a couple years ago to be able to get, like, abundant Halo figures off the shelf at, like, Target and Walmart. Like I used to with, like, Star Wars figures, like, back in the day. But let's actually slide this out here. And it's got these little corner pieces on here to protect the inside box. There we go. Let's actually set that off to the side. Take a look at this. So it's got the Halo Infinite Chief on there, which was a good choice. I actually do like the design of that armor. It's like a modern take on the Halo 3 armor. Like he's built like a tank again. And he has that weight to him, which is awesome. I really like that portrait on there, too. That's a good one. Oh, and seeing this again. Just seeing the stylized logo on the black background just gives me so many nostalgic vibes there. I have actually not seen this out of the package yet. So let's actually get this open. Can I get it out? Is there a good way to grab it? There we go. Man, that's cool. And I like that there's kind of like the Halo 3 kind of Ark World background there. I don't mean like Ark World like the name of a map. I mean just like it looks like part of the Ark as their background. Kind of like the little dynamic setup they have in there. Jazwares Vault exclusive. Yeah, I ordered a duplicate of this, so I'm definitely going to be ripping this one open. So happy to be getting like a what kind of looks like we have kind of like a I'm thinking maybe that's a Halo 3 era ODST there. But yeah, let's actually get this open. But I was saying I was happy to get a nice Sergeant Johnson figure. Like I have one from like the McFarlane era, but I think he came out with like the Jazwares Wave 5, which only came out in like Canada or something. Or like internationally, so we didn't get them here in the States for whatever reason. Super crisp packaging. All right. I pull that background out. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like the Ark to me. Man, that looks super familiar too. All right. All right, so I'm actually going to have to like clip all the little things just to get them out. I'm going to do that real quick and then pop right back. Okay. So, out of the box, we have Sergeant Johnson, an ODST, Halo 2 Master Chief, a Cloaked Arbiter, we have Spartan Locke, and Spartan version of Buck. I mean, if Jazwares is looking for ideas, they can always make the ODST squad from Halo 3 ODST. I'm sure plenty of us collectors would love to get our hands on those. Let's go ahead and take a look at Sergeant Johnson first, why don't we? He's a bit of a harder one to get. So this Sergeant Johnson, let's get some light over here. Kind of looks like the remastered blur kind of version of Sergeant Johnson. Just from the face there. And I'm kind of glad they did that because the older games with Sergeant Johnson in them, the way he looked does not transfer too well over to an action figure. So I'm kind of glad they went with this. I love that they went like the maybe not quite Comet Evolved classic, but that kind of Bungie era classic Halo Marine armor. Or UNSC Marine armor, I should say. Let's see. So when I was posing him to hold his rifle, his elbows will only bend so far because of the limitations with the additional armor. And then from the packaging, he ended up with a bit of a bendy rifle. I think I could fix that over time if I remove the rubber band in that. The rubber band was actually there to hold it in the packaging, so if I take that off, put that back on there, stick that on. I could probably finagle that over time to kind of undo the bend, but you know what, I'd rather have like the bendy weapons than like rigid plastic ones that like snap in half when you try to put it in their hands. So I'm still very satisfied with the Sergeant Johnson. Good articulation on this one. When I was taking them out of the box, I really only noticed one figure with any kind of joint issues, and they were just kind of locked up. And that was just kind of on Buck's feet. So we still get that a little bit. But we still have good figures here. Alright, so I'm actually going to take the battle rifle out of his hands here. Of course, he has a little peg hole on the back, so we can actually just kind of stow that for now. Take a look at our ODST. And these guys are so cool. Alright, of course, the awesome gray camouflage. The kind of ranks and specialists kind of vary depending on what generation of Halo you're talking about and which guidebook and that you look at, so I'm not going to really kind of talk about that. UNSC logo or insignia. What do we have there? I'll be honest, I'm not sure which one that is on that side. Okay. But he's looking pretty cool. Got little side panels too. Yeah, I think the ones that actually came with the drop pod didn't, their arms weren't fully gloved. They had like the kind of like, I think it was based on the Rookie. So he had like the fingerless gloves in that. I really wish they mass produced these guys too. Especially coming with a battle rifle. They would have sold so many of those. But our ODST is looking fantastic. Alright. Halo 2 Master Chief. Alright, getting him kind of running around, dual wielding the submachine guns. Alright. So if you're trying to do the pose, you kind of have to trick the camera a little bit to kind of get that going. His range of motion isn't too great. And I know some people were upset with the 6-inch version of our Halo 2 Master Chief. This one works for the 4-inch figure, but he doesn't have that range of motion like the 6-inch figure does. But you could still get something going if you spend enough time posing him. He's a decent color green, but a lot of times when I see these, I'm always like, that green needs to be a little bit darker. To me, he looks kind of lime green, which looks a little bit off. And let's actually take a look at the submachine gun here. Which I was always fine with the level of detail that Jazwares put into their figures, especially at the price range that they were selling the stuff at. He's got a little bit of a shiny visor on him. We actually got a coat of silver paint to kind of give his armor some scratches. Let's see. Pose him like that. There we go. So they do a good enough amount of detail on these. But it also kind of throws me off that this is like a collector's level service for like playline type figures. And I'm not too sure what to say about that, because I'm just extremely happy to be getting like 4-inch or like 1/18 scale Halo figures again. So I'm not complaining. I'm not saying stop. I'm just like, let's get more of this churned out here. Let's take a look at our Cloaked Arbiter here. I think really the only other way to get like an actual colored or painted Arbiter was that GameStop Halo 3 Anniversary exclusive Warthog pack, where he came with the Halo 3 Warthog and the Halo 3 Master Chief for the Warthog run. I think there might have been quite a few people that also would have wanted a painted Arbiter in their set. I guess if you really wanted to go the extra mile, you could just paint it yourself, maybe, if you had those skills. But I actually already have that, so this is kind of cool. I was never too big of a fan of like the cloaked figures or like invisible figures like this. But man, he actually has such a great amount of like molding detail in there. It's a shame that it's not a painted figure, I think. And then I've said this before in my older Halo Toy Talk videos, that the team over at Jazwares that designs the aliens as action figures does such a great job, because they're so posable and they're functional as toys. Like the joints move, like the Elite's chicken legs. I mean, that's great. He even has like ball joints on his hooves. And he stands up on his own. I mean, they do such a fantastic job with these. I just want to see them come out with more. I'm almost speechless with this because I'm just kind of so happy to have more Halo figures in hand. Even though at this point I'm doing this video quite a bit of time after these ones kind of came out on the Jazwares Vault site. But I was working, so now I'm off for the summer and I have some time. All right. Here we have Locke. Not really one of my favorite characters, but I mean his armor's kind of neat. I always thought his helmet looked a little bit stubby, but he's got a good design to him. He actually does look cool if you like pose him differently. I like the way they brightened up his visor so when the light hits it, it kind of sticks out from the rest of the figure. You know what? He's actually got a good amount of different colored paint applications on him, too. In a lot of different spots. So he's got like the light gray and then the dark gray undersuit, kind of. A little bit of dark gray armor. But then that sort of, that I don't know what to call that, teal. And even a little bit of black. Oh, geez. Even up here. What is chest plate? Yeah, so I mean, the paint and molding details on these are still pretty good. And I'm glad to see that. How about on Buck? I think in the past I was kind of critical of the Buck figure. Let's actually remove his rifle here. Let's take a look at that. Is it just mirrored? Why is it appearing kind of green on camera? Is it? Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay, my eyes kind of play tricks on me sometimes, so... Yeah, that's cool. Most of these guys do have the peg holes in the back to stow their weapons. Let's take a look at Buck. Looks like he has his team emblems on his armor. Yeah, his ODST nameplate on the front there. I like the little side bags on his calf there. Now, of course, the knife is just molded on there. But it is like a separate piece that's like plugged in and then glued in. So it's not going to break off too easily. Yeah, these are so cool. All right. So we got to take a look at each one of those. And then we'll do like a little montage and then kind of wrap things up. This Big Shot Battle Pack meets my expectations of the World of Halo line, and I'm happy to have more Halo figures in hand. Most of these characters fit the Big Shot theme of this pack, but I feel they could have gone with a couple different characters than what we've got, but I could talk about that all day. Instead, I feel the main purpose of this pack was to get figures out to folks that otherwise missed out on a number of these figures, particularly Sergeant Johnson, the Halo 2 Chief, and the standard ODST. I think even Buck may have been hard to find for quite a few people too. However, this is still greatly appreciated that they did this, and even I was finally able to get some of the major characters that I was deeply saddened to miss out on. I am extremely happy with the set, and just as much so to be getting Halo figures again. I look forward to more releases. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more Halo figure reviews in the future, and comment to let me know what you think of the World of Halo line's comeback, or what you'd like to see made from it. This has been Heartless Spartan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.